I'm Dea Loren.
And I'm Damien.
I'm a mother, wife, and indie gospel recording artist.
I'm a father, husband, and I'm in car sales.
But we make time to DIY together to the rhythm of life on Rhythm and Renovations. Hey everybody, it's Dea Loren.
And Damien.
My husband.
And welcome to Rhythm and Renovations.
Woohoo! All right. My name, like I said, is Dea Loren. I'm an indie gospel artist and I sing music on kind of like as my second job. And then as my first job, I'm a consultant and I do project management and program management to make the money. Go ahead.
And I'm actually in car sales, part-time handyman, I guess, around the house. And
he also sings as well.
So back up.
That's actually how we met. How we met.
So we both met at FAMU, Florida A&M University.
Go Rattlers!
And so we both met in the FAMU Gospel Choir many years ago because we're going on 23 years of marriage this year.
Yep.
And with 5 kids later, and we're still together, and we still love each other.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. We definitely like each other a lot.
Yeah, I do like you.
So
when we met, I knew right away that he was a playboy, and so I was like, I don't want to have anything to do with him.
What?
I could tell.
I was.
And
okay.
he honestly didn't want to have anything to do with me
I didn't. Okay.
Because he thought I was too much of a good girl.
Yeah, I needed somebody who was struggling in their relationship,
their salvation,
and like me, and so we could struggle together.
And I was not having it. So
no. I was in the ministry. She was. We kind of both got in the ministry at the same time. But I was just like, no more women, no nothing, just me. I'm just gonna pursue ministry and just kind of pursue God in ministry and just kind of just be me and God. And so when one day, about 2 weeks after I made that decision, she happened to just walk by. We were doing like a car wash or something. And it was like...
I wasn't dressed, again, I was saved. So I wasn't dressed like, skimpy.
Yeah, even though we were in Florida, she wasn't dressed in no short shorts and stuff. But she walked by and I was like, hey, and I was like, hey. And I was like, no, I just said I don't want to do that. And I just couldn't get it out of my mind from that day on. It was just like, just nose wide open.
And I had also just kind of like renewed my commitment to just being about God because even though I was saved, I still had some struggles. And one of them was trying to, be wanted by men. And so I made some decisions. I ended up dating this guy that was not cute. And after that happened, I was like, you know what? It's only you, God. And then that's when God brought him into my life.
Yeah. Anyway, from then on, we eventually started dating.
1998, we started dating. We got married in 2000.
And then here we are 23 years later. And then wouldn't change anything in the world.
So why
do we do DIY?
Well, God made us DIY, honestly, because it wasn't our choice. We were looking for houses to buy. This was our first house that we bought where we are now. And when we were looking for something move-in ready. No. But when we ended up getting this house, it was a fixer-upper. And we didn't have much money. After we bought this house, we ended up, I think we had like $5,000 left in savings. And so we were like, yeah, we gonna have to do everything we can ourselves. Because this, buying a house is not just buying a house. You got to maintain it. If stuff breaks, you got to fix it. And then I really didn't like the way the house looked when we bought it, but it was the one house that we could get that we both were happy with. Yeah. For the most part. The first thing was we need to update this kitchen. Yeah. Because it was green, maybe Formica or whatever. I don't know what.
I think it's Formica.
A ceramic sink, which is not a bad thing, but it was white and it was rusted out.
Yeah.
Our cabinets were made of like fake wood, like the compressed
MDF wood,
and they were bloated because I guess when the house was sitting,
there was moisture in the air.
There was a lot of moisture in the house.
The floors, we used to have white oak floors, but they were all sun damaged because there was no shade or anything here. For the French doors, and so all the wood was all sun damaged and bleached and everything, and so She was like, you got to fix all of that.
So that was really what got us into DIY, was just necessity. Like, we needed to fix up our house. We needed to make it a home.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to pay nobody.
So,
really, honestly, I'm the idea person and I'm the planner. Like I said, in my actual work as, you know, a professional, I'm in project and program management, which involves a lot of planning. So in my natural life, in my own personal life, I'm planning all the time. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking about, okay, well, what do I need to do to get this done? And so that's my role. And also the designer, again, something that God kind of brought out because I wasn't good at it at first, but I always had a vision in my mind of what I want, and I kind of plan and work through that to get to it, and I loop him in to help me do it and accomplish it.
Basically, she just says, baby, this is what I want you to do. I need you to do it. And I go, huh?
Yeah.
What? Okay, what is it you want me to do? Tell me again. And then I just start working. I just did the work.
He does not.
I do the work.
And honestly, that's not true. You don't do the work. You do most of the work.
99.
No, he does about 70% of the work, and I do 30% of the work.
80%.
I'll give him that. 80%, 20%. But don't say I don't do the work.
No, you do a lot of work. You do.
Yes.
Because it takes a lot to come up with all the ideas.
It's more than that.
No, I know. I'm saying, no, it's all of that too, but it comes up, you do a lot. I just do no physical, but you have to think about everything, and
I also do physical work. Thank you.
Our first project, again, was really the kitchen. And so, again,
we had about a $5,000 budget. Because again, that was all we had in our savings, and we were planning on having, I think, your family over for Christmas, and so we wanted to get it done. We moved in here in September. We bought the house in August. Okay. We moved in September, and so we had from September to November basically.
Because we left for Thanksgiving. To
work on the house and to work on the kitchen. And so we did the kitchen renovation. My husband demoed and everything.
That was fun.
And that took September, October, November, so 3 months.
Yeah. The last thing, so we tore out all the old cabinetry, tore out, again, all the Formica countertops.
Got rid of the sink.
Got rid of the sink. There's no way to save that.
Maybe with some CLR or something,
I
but
don't know.
we didn't.
No.
We threw it out.
Plus, it was small too.
Yeah, it was
like
little.
small. So we just added. We
totally
bought
gutted the kitchen.
I gutted everything, and so then we bought ready to assemble cabinets.
Yeah. So I found online because I wanted real wood. Like I said, the ones that we had before were like MDF, and they were prone to like swelling, which I'm sure wood is too, but not the same.
Yeah.
And so
maybe.
So I bought those. They were real wood. I think these are maple cabinets. At least the doors are maple. And so my husband, he had to actually assemble them almost like when you buy a table or a cabinet and you have to put it together.
IKEA furniture.
Yeah, or something from IKEA, you have to put it together. So it was like that. And he put them together. He mounted them on the walls, and
the instructions were not always great. Or things were supposed to go in some places and they made holes in a different place than it was supposed to be. And I had to make new holes, and so I had to put it all together.
So yeah, most of it honestly was purchases. So like I made like purchases for the sink, and we bought the Granite. They came and installed it for us.
One thing I was not gonna do.
Which I told him he could do, but he didn't believe me.
No, it's heavy.
And so, which I still think, because I want to replace these. This was, again, our $5,000 budget Granite, so we got like the cheapest Granite we could find. Eventually, I'm going to change it out.
So Daya did all of the backsplashes.
Yeah, I do all the tile work. I told you I do work.
Yeah, she does.
I did all of the tile work.
I admit she does work.
But let's say, the kitchen you see behind you is not the original kitchen. So it was black cabinets that we bought, because that was the cheapest.
Dark brown, black.
Ready to assemble cabinets I could get that fit what I wanted in our budget. So I had, and so these are the same cabinets, but eventually you'll see what happens to them next. And then again, we got new granite and new fixtures and things like that. And we did a different light. It was a drum light with some neutrals, like a what's it called? Cork.
Yeah, it's a cork
And
exterior.
so, because I like to mix naturals with metals and the other things, like that's why, you know, these chairs. But
And we actually refinished the floors, and so
we just refinished them at that time.
yeah, at that time I just refinished them. First time ever using a drum sander. I had no idea what I was doing.
And he gouged the floor.
Gouging the floors up, and then you know, it had to do what it had to do. I stained them, and we left for Thanksgiving. We came back, and all the stain had bubbled up, and it had, when it dried, it had little bubbles in it. And so I had to hand sand everything. I had to use a hand palm sander and hand sand all the little bubbles and things out of the floor.
See, I didn't remember that.
I had to use one of those a lamb skin, whatever it's called, sheepskin, I don't know, something. But I found out later on that they said you weren't supposed to do that. So, because again, I had no idea what I was doing. And so then I went back and just did a brush and just brushed each one by hand. So what else did we do?
That's it.
So yeah, that was it. That's all we did. And then
In the beginning.
In the beginning, and then so a couple of years later.
That's not true. It was 6 years later.
6 years later.
We did the kitchen the first time in 2014. The second time we did it was in 2020.
Okay, sometime later, 6 years later, seemed like the next month, but 6 years later, she comes and says, "Baby, I want to redo the kitchen," and I'm like, "We just did the kitchen."
He said, "What's wrong with this
Yeah,
kitchen?"
what's wrong with the kitchen?
And I said, "I don't like it. I never liked it."
And I'm like, "How you never like it? You're the one who made the kitchen in the first place."
We did what we had to do. But anyway, I said, I'm going to do the painting of the cabinets because I want them white. So all I did was paint them. Now that was a learning experience in itself because we did not know what we were doing. Even though I did look on YouTube to try to find out what to do, I found somebody that told me, you know, how to do it, but they leave out details.
Yeah.
And so you have to kind of figure stuff out.
Yep.
And so there's some mistakes definitely on the cabinets, but it still overall looks good. So what you're looking at now is the new kitchen. The second time, the 2020 update. And so I did that. I also took out the old tile, which was more of like a beigey color, and put this herringbone white tile in that I got from Floor and Decor. And
we added moldings.
Yeah, he did that. So we added crown moldings
to it. And side moldings and things like that.
We also refinished our ceiling because I wanted to, again, I'm all about stuff looking custom. And so I wanted to have a crown molding feel or a coffered ceiling feel. But our ceilings are low in our kitchen. Like they're probably, what, 8, 9 feet? And so we couldn't do all the recessed, deep, whatever. So we just took some MDF.
I think.
Boards, and I think they're probably like maybe 3-4 inches wide.
No, that's 5 or 6 inches
Okay,
wide.
he says 5 or 6.
But we did a faux coffered ceiling.
Yeah.
So just adding some depth to it to make it look a little different. Added the new lights in to give us more light besides just the drum light.
So he did that because, and like I said before, well, I didn't say this before, but we did hire a contractor, electrician, to come and actually run the wiring.
Yeah.
But then my husband installed all the new lighting for, what are these lights called? Recessed lights.
Yeah. So
for the recessed lights.
Yeah, we had to have them because all of the joists that go overhead, they had to drill through all of that, and I didn't know how to do it, and I didn't know what to do, and so. They just ran all the wiring, and then I put it all together and installed it all.
So yeah, we the updates made it brighter. Definitely, that's one of the things I didn't like about it. Was
Added
that it was
the
so dark
the
with the
Sputnik light here.
Yeah, I changed out the lighting.
And we had one of those old we had the microwave underneath the center cabinet.
Well, it was under the stove. I mean, over
the stove, and we found out that it was not. You know, we thought when you have the microwave and you vent things, that it vents something. It never vented anywhere because it just vents back out into the house. And
So yeah, again, one of the things we've learned about DIY is that professionals don't do it right. Because there's been a lot of places that we found like, why did they do this? And why is this not hooked up?
Why is this not straight? Why is this wall crooked?
Yeah, the walls are not straight, and so we ended up actually creating a hole.
Yeah, we need something to vent out in case somebody catches something on fire, just smoke, whatever the case may be.
I almost did. Yeah.
And so I actually had to drill through, to actually put an actual vent. So that vent hood actually vents outside.
Yeah.
So
it didn't before.
It
So
did not,
we're actually doing better than the professionals sometimes.
Because anything with oil and whatever, it was just venting up into the ceiling and just splattering everywhere. We were like, what kind of foolishness is this?
So yeah, one of the things, like I said, I want to have a custom anything. I just want it to look custom. And I know, again, from all the DIY shows that I watch, that custom is more about just making things look like they're fit into the space, and not necessarily that you had to pay somebody to come do it for you and make it for you. And so I was like, no, baby, I want one that comes all pretty much to the front of the refrigerator.
Because the refrigerator just used to stick out from the wall. You just see the whole side of the refrigerator.
And I started looking at prices online of ones that were already built, and they were astronomical. The prices were like thousands of dollars. And I was like, no. So I'm going to look online and see what it takes to just buy the wood.
And you can build one.
And
I was like, what?
We ended up spending a few $100s on the surround, because the biggest thing was this one.
Was one big piece of wood.
Piece of wood that goes to the side, and it was like 150 or something like that.
Because it's like a not 10-foot piece of wood.
Like a 9-foot or a 10-foot piece.
Most wood only comes 8 feet.
Like 8 feet.
For the thickness that we wanted it to.
Yeah.
So we had to find.
We had to go to like a custom lumber yard.
Yeah, lumber yard to find that.
And so and then my husband just added moldings to the side to make it look like shaker, so that it matched the rest of the kitchen.
The cabinet.
So, the investment for this kitchen, like I said, the main investment was the $5,000 initial investment, because our second update was mostly paint, new tile, and just changing out the lighting.
New stove.
Oh, we forgot about that. Yeah, so we did get a new stove.
Yeah, she wanted a fancy stove.
But it was a mid-range fancy stove. It cost probably like $800, which is not a lot.
No.
I wasn't about to pay no $3,000 for a stove. But I still wanted one that was low profile, that didn't have the back, that looked like it was expensive.
It looked fancy.
Even if it wasn't expensive. And so, so probably the second update, probably like another $2,500. So, and this is a guesstimate, but in total, about $7,500 for the kitchen for the both updates, which I think is great. But we did, again, a lot of DIY, a lot of sweat equity to make it. And then out of that, we definitely, I think this is my guesstimate, that we have about a $30,000 kitchen. So,
yeah. I mean, for what we've read and all the things we see about what it takes to remodel a kitchen, I mean, that you could spend $30,000 to $40,000 easy. And for
with
us,
a contractor.
Yeah, with a contractor, and for us to spend less than $10,000, I mean, we're getting our money out of it.
For sure.
And it looks decent for the size of kitchen. Well, because it looks good, really good. It looks really good for the size kitchen that it is.
Yeah, it's not a big kitchen.
Yeah, so because she actually wants a big kitchen, but. And I
actually want to blow out a wall and extend it, but again, he tries to rein me in.
No, we're not doing that. But it's a lot of work went involved into it. A lot of like I said, a lot of mistakes. We learned a lot of lessons because, like I said, I need a different paint sprayer. That would be better.
Because our paint sprayer was doing a lot of spitting.
Yeah, I see other people talking about and it was not doing that. So next on the list, upgrade my paint sprayer.
Next on the list is pay somebody to paint them, because they need to be updated. They have the good paint sprayer, so.
Or I can just buy my own.
That's another story, because he likes tools.
Yes. So. It's my excuse to get tools whenever she needs something done. I'm like, well, I'm going to need to buy some new stuff. So guys, thanks for listening to us and joining with us today for our very first episode of Rhythm and Renovations. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button. So this is my first time doing it. I don't know what buttons to be pressing.
And he's not good at like YouTube, Instagram, or anything.
I have no idea. And so again, this is Damien, this is Dea. Have a great day. God bless.
Bye.
24/7 shine, 24/7 shine, 365 shine, 365 shine.